So not only did BYU find the next AJ Dybantsa, the real AJ Dybantsa might stay for another year. Is it too good to be true for BYU hoops? Am I just making this up? I promise you I am not making this up, okay? I promise you. Hang with me. Welcome in. This is the Open for Business Big 12 podcast where the Big 12 just means more. I am your host, John Kurtz. Things have been rough for BYU hoops lately, if you've been paying attention. They've lost 4 of 5. They've lost 8 of 11. Just 3-8 coming down the home stretch of the Big 12 season. They had the one bright spot, the big win over Iowa State at home. It's been tough since then. The blowout loss to UCF, a blowout loss at Cincinnati the other night, 90-68. Richie Saunders injury mixed in there. It's not been fun. It's not been fun. I certainly feel for BYU fans, but I have seen those. I have one Texas Tech fan in particular who's been pushing me on Twitter. Be more critical of Kevin Young. He had all this money, and look, they're going to finish likely 10th in the Big 12 standings. I think it will be K-State BYU on Tuesday night in the Big 12 tournament. How come Kevin Young's not getting more crap? Well, first of all, I feel like he has been getting a decent amount of heat, just judging very quickly off of my Twitter timeline lately. But yeah, look, BYU finishing 10th after spending the money that they spent, the resources on this roster. Obviously, AJ Dybantsa, the headliner there. There should be some heat delivered there. Having said that, remember, Richie Saunders is a borderline All-American, and he's been out for almost a month at this point. Now, things were starting to trend downward when that happened, but it would not be this bad had Richie Saunders not gotten hurt, and he is not the only one injured. There are 3 other players who would have been potential rotation guys, possibly their 6th man, who have been injured the entire season, right? So, injuries have just really caught up to this team, which is a big factor here. But yes, Kevin Young should take a bit of heat, and I think he is. Anyway, more on Kevin Young in the future of that in a moment, but that's not why you're here. You're here for what? AJ Dybantsa staying another year, John? That is outrageous. That can't be true. What are you doing to me? Okay, first of all, subscribe to the channel, pushing toward 35K. Thank you to everybody who does. He said it himself, okay? Don't just take my word for it. He said it himself. I know he's going to be the number 1 or 2 pick. I understand that, and I'm not here to tell you it would be the smartest decision in the world, even though we know that BYU would pay him a lot of money. BYU would definitely pay him a lot of money to stay. But he talked to the Deseret News, and this is what AJ Dybantsa had to say. You may not be able to.
Do you want to go number 1?
See if you can hear the audio.
Do you think you will?
Well, I might not leave.
What do you mean?
I might not leave college.
Why not?
No, I just got to return to the season.
So you haven't made up your mind that you're going to go into the draft?
Nah, because my mom wants me to graduate.
Really?
Yeah, so I might not leave. But I might leave.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good from AJ Dybantsa, all right? He's saying his mom wants him to stay in college. Fans could get in his ear. He might stay. I know there's a jovial, kind of joking, tongue-in-cheek tone there, and then I might leave. Look, I don't think AJ Dybantsa is actually going to stay. I've seen this before. It reminds me actually a lot of Michael Beasley back in the day at K-State. He teased this a bit after his 1 year in college where, he averaged 26 and 12 for a season. Was clearly the best player in college basketball that year and was going to be the number 1 or number 2 pick. It was like him and Derrick Rose. That was the debate. Very similar situation. Now, he, of course, went, and that was in a day when there was no NIL. So the case for Dybantsa at least would be a little bit stronger in saying, hey, he could still make 7 figures by playing in college. Multiple 7 figures, right? Michael Beasley then would tell me, he did an interview with us on the 3-Ma podcast. Check it out if you're a K-State fan, that he actually did want to stay, just couldn't really justify it in the end, right? Well, it's a little bit different here with AJ Dybantsa. I'm sure that he will wind up going pro, being the number 1 or 2 pick. In fact, momentum right now is pushing toward him actually being the number 1 pick. You would be passing up a long-term contract and 8 figures and money and security and all those things. We understand this. But what an interview like that does show you is he's had a really good experience at BYU. He's had a good time there, and that can help when you're trying to find the next AJ Dybantsa. And that seems to be paying off for BYU already, okay? Because they got a commitment from Bruce Branch. He is in the class of 2026, and he is one of the top 10 players in the country. Depends on where you look. Top 6, I have seen quite a bit. He is a 5-star recruit. This is a big time recruiting win for Kevin Young and company. Branch made his announcement earlier this week on ESPN's NBA Today. So it's another one of these guys. AJ Dybantsa, remember, was with like Stephen A. Smith. He went on a big show to announce that he's going to BYU. So it's more good publicity for the Cougars and the basketball program. If you're wanting the skinny on Branch, he reclassified from the 2027 class into this class in November. That's when BYU became the favorites, according to ESPN. Also took a visit to USC in recent weeks, but the Cougars have been the likely destination for most of the winter. So 6'7" wing. This is, kind of in terms of size, skill set. You think about AJ Dybantsa, you think about Igor Demin, the last couple of years that have rolled through Provo. This is the next guy in line. It's the third straight season with a 5-star recruit for Kevin Young at BYU. It's pretty clear. It's well established at this point that say what you will about this year. If you want to say no injury excuses, whatever, Kevin Young's going to get talent, and he continues to get talent. Like that's just going to happen, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with what the criticism level is for this season or not. He is going to keep getting high level talent at BYU. Outside of just Branch, there's a 5-star and 2 4-stars. Well, Branch is the 5-star. There are 2 4-stars in the upcoming recruiting class as well. So like talent is coming, and BYU is going to have the resources to compete in the transfer portal. So I don't think BYU hoops is going anywhere in terms of being competitive at or near the top of the Big 12. Now, does Kevin Young have this program at Houston's level yet? No. Does Kevin Young have this program at Arizona's level yet? No. He's not proven that he's Tommy Lloyd or Kelvin Sampson or, in Texas Tech. I don't think he's proven nearly as much as Grant McCaslin at this point in his career either. So I am not saying any of that, but I am saying the stars are certainly aligning for Kevin Young to year in and year out be one of the more high-profile teams, coaches, and programs in the Big 12. No reason that BYU can't be a top 5 program in Big 12 basketball, which I know you would say, well, top 5, okay. Roll your eyes maybe a bit, but if you're a top 5 Big 12 basketball program, you're doing something right, and things are going pretty darn well. So I am still a believer in Kevin Young being that. Well, he does need to prove that he can consistently do this year in and year out, and I would imagine the injury bug is not going to bite as hard most years as it has this year. Now, speaking of Texas Tech, between basketball and football, Texas Tech has, I think, the best athletics program going right now in the Big 12. Certainly that's a debate, but BYU should be right there, and I'll tell you why if you click here.